Okay guys, here's a super sneak preview or first look at the new Mod 19 that's coming out by Neverwinter. It's still on beta testing at this point, and so you're not able to get into it, and only certain people are invited. This is the whole area that's here, and it's huge. It doesn't appear to be using it, and this Citadel part that's right down here is not in access at this point that he can show us either, but I'm sure there's cool quest that goes on there. Who's got this is Northside. He's a guy that does a lot of the content creation for the game and stuff in it, and he's been selected, and rightly so, to do something like this. You can look at the size of this place and all of the area that you've got to do your quest into, and there are like 5 areas that are here, and you go one to another, and better yet, you end up getting a Mad Max Doom Buggy. It's like a Dune Buggy, but it's a Doom Buggy. The little place in the back, it's too bad your companion can't go there and stuff, although if you have an augment it doesn't work. I don't know if you capture somebody and put them there, but there are quests that you go on that you have to use this buggy to go through. And so he's just showing you little parts of it here. You need to check out Northsides' channel, because he has instant access to this, but he puts out videos, he does all kinds of testing and things like that. Great guy. You can see that the little emblem at the bottom has changed right down there. The little emblem has changed, and I don't know if they're going to do that on this next mod or not, but it looks like it's changed. He doesn't make a mention of it that I can remember going through it, but here's another one of the areas that you've got to go through. Not really showing it on the map. It looks a little dinosaur bone area, you know, kind of a dragon's boneyard, but it also gets this look. There's a group of these that you have to take in one of your quests and make sure they get back to normal. So you can use this Dune Buggy all over the place, but it kind of looks like you're, I don't know, he described it as being like that you're in the Hill of Doom, and that you're near the Black Gate of Lord of the Rings type of thing, and it does look like that in the wastelands that are part of an area that's attached to it. Now this is a realm of hell and a layer of hell. He doesn't have access to the trial that's attached to this, and there are only some of the heroic encounters at this point that are hooked up to it, but he has access to those and stuff. So it's just a kind of a test run to have people that aren't with the company actually try to test the product out. It's pretty neat. They've done this in a lot of mods. Sometimes it's just more put to open area and things like that, but you get all kinds of different quests from different areas that you have to go through on your weekly. Now, I don't know exactly what it is, but you queue into that and it brings you into a new area, and it does that like 3 different times. He shows in here where you go up to a thing and it queues you in a different area. So not only do you have the areas that we were looking at there on the initial map, but once you queue into it, it goes to different areas. And there's cartographers here, and he gives you maps. So it looks like what we're going to have is some more of those hunts and hunt quests. See, there's a treasure map, and it doesn't show you the treasure or anything at this point, but it lets you know it's in the works and it's there. So we might be doing treasure maps again, not necessarily hunts, but it'd be cool to have something like hunts again. And yes, there is an HE setup that goes along with this also, minors and a major. And again, there's supposed to be a trial that goes along with this. It's pretty cool. There's a new journal that's out that you can get. There's new weapons and a new set of armor, and he'll show it here in a minute. I think that's just kick-ass. So we've got a lot of new stuff coming with this new mod, which is pretty neat. Here's the new weapon set. Here's one of them. You get this weapon set whenever you go through the deal, it seems, but then also once you do the trial and things, you're able to get one of 3 other weapon sets. So that's pretty neat, and I'm sure one of them does something neat this way and that way and everything. Yeah, they still have heroics, and he says, but why? It's going to be something that they just have to do with it. They can't seem to come up with something that's different than heroic, although they had some back in the early days. It seems like they're going to want to do that. Here's your campaign module, and it goes all the way up through. There is a boon attached to it too, that you get another one of those, right? And it comes all the way up through Zariel's challenge. And you get 175 a week, but well, it starts out, it's going to be 100, 125, 150, 175, and you pulse your way through it. And there's new articles in here too, along with the diluted holy water, where there's brazier of hellfire and things along like that line that you can get too. Our cursed wheel of grinding. I'm not sure what these things do, but that brazier of hellfire is a restoration reagent that you use to restore something. So they've got a new article that you have to get, and well, I guess you don't have to, but they've got a new article that you get, and in doing so you're able to rank it up, but you have to use their things to rank it up, and it has to do with those bars that you get in the last mod 18.5 or 18B, if you will. So there's all these different areas that you can go into, and the major citadel that's down there. That's pretty neat. So it looks like it's much bigger even than the area that we were just in, which is somewhat exciting to have a huge area. And it's, you know, maybe not that big, but there are 5 different areas, and it's slightly different too, and so it adds a lot to it. So you can see our heroics going on up here in the top right hand corner in there with that medallion that's in the blue circle. So apparently there's a set of those going, and I don't think there's a trial that sets up off of this that basically that you have to run through this and this to get to that, but it might get to that point. Oh, didn't make it. So this Dune Buggy, it also has a little turbo that you can kick on it, and it does a little boost that you can get going too, which seems pretty neat. I guess to some people, something that, you know, motorized and stuff is not really Dungeons and Dragons. Well, you can pretend it runs off steam if you want to, and steampunk it, or it's that some type of magic that runs it, regardless of the fact it looks like a sprint car turned into Mad Max. So look at this area here. These goes to a couple of the scrying orbs, I guess, and shows you the area. So this is in effect again with this area, and you can overlook it there. And that appears to be the river Styx. Yep, they've got that. They've got this black river, but it doesn't look like they've finished it yet. He goes and meets it here in a minute, and when he does so, it's just like a black murk river. It doesn't make any splashing or any motion whenever you go over it and things, so it's like they haven't quite finished it yet, or maybe that's supposed to be the effect, like it's just this solemn river thing situation. But looks like it's supposed to portray the river Styx, although the river Styx is supposed to be a blocking point between 2 places, and it looks like you can go around through it. Now, the HEs you don't want to do on your own, and he shows you this right here. He counts to 5, and he figures he would be dead, but he's not dead yet. Surprising, so he runs around over here, hits his deal again, and 3, 2, 1, and pow. It takes him right out. So there's no way to really complete the major heroics solo in any way, and that's okay, I guess. Now there is a new mythic Tyrannosaurus Rex mount that goes into it. There's a new celestial set that you can get, and each one of these does a little bit of damage extra to demons. There's a Legion Guard set, Hellfire Engine set, and so I'm thinking preeminently, because they don't have it listed on here and don't show the stats, that one's going to be more tanky, one's going to be this, one's going to be that. They've got a new hood, which is the same item level as the others that were there before, but it has slightly better stats that are on it, and it's one of those things that whenever you're with one certain opponent, just one opponent, instead of a group, you get an extra boost to your power. And so that's going to be great for bosses, and I don't know if we'll want to do something like switch it out or do so, whatever. He's already got this Darth cult and garbs of the cult that he's gotten from the drops that you get. So you go around and pick up these nodes, and it gives you drops, so that gives you a chance of doing this. And I'm sure there's probably some of the little fashion companions that go along with it too, and there's also a fashion set that goes along with it here that he can't show you at this point. It's not that he doesn't want to, it's just that you can't see him there. There's also a new companion, this Redeemer and Sky Blazer, and he's one of those guys that gives you extra in a certain part, and that looks pretty cool, a spined devil. And there's a flaming skull that won't show, it's a little bit out of range there, but none of them are augment companions, so I don't know if they'll be usable or not. They're supposed to be trying to work on that and fix it to where it's just about the same, but it's different if you're getting the stats all the time versus waiting on a proc. So the proc would have to be stronger, but if you can make it proc, then you can do a lot of damage. And this is kind of the major area to it here. This is the Citadel that you end up going to, and it's full of demons, and some of these elite demons that are in here too. And there's a little cave right down there that has an encounter that you go in and through, micro dungeon if you will. And then there's this place here that is where you queue up into the Citadel at. And I'm guessing that's going to be an encounter that you have after a certain point in the campaign, and you don't get it to that, something along that line. Now this is all subject to change, guys. It may be totally different, but in belief systems, they're got it pretty much worked out, and it's going to be on beta for everybody on PC apparently by the time he released this out, so it should be on there now as beta testing, and that usually goes on for a period of weeks, and without problems. There was that cave that was there, and without problems or whatever, it gets released for PC, and then 4 to 6 weeks later we end up getting it on Xbox and consoles, right? There's a whole nother area here called Gray Knuckle, and it's a whole town, and there's a couple of areas to it. He just skipped out of one into another here, and this apparently is what he's calling the River Styx, but to me it looks like a tar river or something along that line, and the old wicked trees, and it's not really big enough to be a River Styx, and not what we have in our mind of River Styx. But I guess it's supposed to portray that in some way, shape, or form here. And then you have this Citadel here that's been taken over by these demons, and apparently you have to heal all these guys back up. And you can work with this necromancer that's here, and then what you have to do is go around and raise all these souls. This is just one of your encounters he's showing you here. But whenever you start to raise the souls, a portal opens and demons come out, and they flash out on you pretty hard, but he's got it sped up to go through it. And so it seems like each time you try to grab and pick up a guy, the gate opens again and other ones come out. And so you have to free all of these groups of souls. There's only one left here at the very end, and he gets it done, and so that completes it. Or maybe this one, and it completes it. You can see there's a group of these rocks right here that gleam behind you, and this is for a whole nother encounter, I believe. I don't think they're the souls also, unless they're trapped in a rock, something that has some type of thing to it. They get these whispered confessions along with your infernal scraps and things that go with it, and those purple whispered confessions give you a reagent or also upgrading some of your new stuff that comes in. So that's neat that it's got that aspect to it. So it's fairly wide open with a lot of aspects to it as far as what you're going to go for, and a lot of things to go for, so it's not going to be a boring mod necessarily. Now I'm going to get out of here and zip go. Bonwa. So yep, you get this Mad Max kind of thing, and there's this wandering Emporium way station that you can go to. It's kind of a Mad Maxy kind of thing again here, and at it are people that you can contact or talk to and stuff. And there's a full legacy campaign here that goes along with it, right? And eventually you get to the point of Zariel's challenge, and whenever you do, apparently you have to talk to this guy, and that gives you the key into the next place. So you can see this areas that you look at here. It's pretty cool. That blue spire that you see gleaming in the sky is a heroic encounter going on at this point that we're looking into. You can look at these other areas here. It's huge. It looks somewhat exciting and doable, definitely. So as more comes out about this, I'll try to let y'all know. He puts out videos and stuff, and I'm not just going to sit and rip off his videos constantly. But once word is known and we get this thing out, if there's something exciting or to be known, I will put out another video on it. And as soon as it opens up on Xbox, I'll put out a preview perhaps on it there also. So you can look forward to that coming up here shortly. So yeah, check out Northside here, and see if I can make that big enough so you can see it. Check out Northside here, and you just look under Northside, and it's got the wolf, and he's got a lot of videos on it. He basically concentrates on Neverwinter, and is one of the better content creators left doing it now, and I appreciate him putting this out. Apparently he's had it done for a few days, and he doesn't usually edit. He edited this in and sped it up and did things, and then talked over it, through it, made a good video out of it, and he had to wait till today, because today's when they release it on beta, so he can release it as a preview for beta. And I'm going to try to shove this out here in a couple of hours. I won't get any play on it though, like he does on his videos, as far as Neverwinter looks. But we appreciate y'all. Like, share, and subscribe, and enjoy, and we'll get on to more. Peace.